2025 is here, and we of course are going to continue creating videos for you. Also, something that never changes is we offer Windows 11 Pro retail keys. For just $12.50, purchase one today and you are good to go for the end of the year when Windows 10 is end of life. Yesterday was a very historical day, I would say, because Bethesda did announce the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Nearly 2 decades ago, the original Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion was released, and now we have seen this amazing new remaster. I think it's actually a remake, to be really honest, in Unreal Engine 5. So this is not a simple graphical update like most remasters are with a simple 4K texture pack. This has been developed in Unreal Engine 5, so this is a complete new engine in comparison with the older Creation Engine from Bethesda. So this transition from the Creation Engine to Unreal Engine 5 brings a lot of questions, I would say, to the table. What are we going to see now, maybe with older Bethesda games like Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, but also the more recent Fallout 4 and even Skyrim, because they all have been created with the Bethesda Creation Engine, and if porting is relatively easy for a studio like Virtuos, who has created this in collaboration with Bethesda, but this studio actually did create this title, what are we going to see about more of these older Bethesda titles? And maybe even also for the future of a game like Elder Scrolls 6. If this engine really seems to work for, remasters, maybe, just maybe, Bethesda might consider switching over to Unreal Engine 5 also for the newer games. Well, I think a lot of questions, and hopefully we're going to answer those in this video. Let's first check a little bit about the studio behind this remaster, that is Virtuos Studios. So, behind the stunning transformation of this Oblivion Remastered lies the expertise of Virtuos Studios. Virtuos Studios is a global leader in game development and art production. So what they did is they collaborated very close with Bethesda game studios, and they undertook the monumental task of rebuilding the beloved Oblivion we all know using Unreal Engine 5. And that's been quite a task to switch completely from a different engine. So they were able to pull this off. How? Well, we've seen an example, the demos from Craig Coulthard, and he used the ESM files that Oblivion and Skyrim have, and was able to create a script to directly import them into Unreal Engine 5. And then, if you can upscale textures, an example, and use the same assets, it is suddenly very doable. So then there's still lots and lots of work, because you need to create animations, new characters, new audio. You need to, they also overhauled the gameplay, so it has been a huge task, but it is very doable, because theoretically they can do the same like Craig Coulthard did, create a script, importing the original ESM files into Unreal Engine 5, and boom, all of a sudden you have the locations, the assets, everything is just there, and it needs, texture upscaling, but you don't need to fully recreate everything in Unreal Engine 5. So I would say this is probably also how Virtuos did do that. They just created a script to import ESM files into Unreal Engine 5. And what does this mean? Well, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Skyrim, all these games have ESM files. So theoretically, now Virtuos can use this script they did create, pretty much like Craig Coulthard did, and import those assets into Unreal Engine 5. Theoretically meaning remasters for older Bethesda games are easier for them to do. So this lies pretty much the foundation, like they did with the Oblivion Remaster, that we can see actually more Bethesda remasters. So let's take a look why we should care that this has been remade with Unreal Engine 5. Well, Unreal Engine 5, especially the latest versions, offer tremendous features that really helped the development of this Oblivion Remaster. I would say, first of all, the characters. Oblivion has been known for potato faces, but in Unreal Engine 5 we have something called MetaHuman. MetaHuman allows the developers to relatively easy create NPCs, an example, player characters, but also non-playable characters. This means they look very high quality, and with relatively low effort, you don't have to redesign or remodel every NPC from the ground up. So that's really a good thing, because we all know how ugly the original NPCs from Oblivion looked. Now with MetaHuman, that is way easier. Also, you see the quality in the fur sometimes. That is just done, and it looks really, really cool. And if you look at the foundations of Unreal Engine 5, one of the standout features I would say is Nanite. So what Nanite does is it has a virtualized geometry system that allowed the developers to create just incredibly detailed environments without compromising the performance. And normally you have LODs and scaling for the hardware, but Nanite just allows you to add way more detail without tanking the performance. So what this means is that every stone, tree, and just architectural detail in Cyrodiil can be rendered with cinematic quality without losing much of the performance, which is really, really great. And complementing Nanite is Lumen, and Lumen is Unreal Engine 5 global illumination system. So what Lumen does, it provides a dynamic lighting and reflections that react in real time to changes in the environment. So whether it is a flicker of a torch or weather effects, an example, sunshine shining through the tree lines, it is all done naturally and in real time. Same goes for weather effects. They all provide a more realistic and natural interaction with the world. And this is something way different than the creation engine, where all of this was very static and of course very, how do you say it? It was very, very buggy sometimes. And with Unreal Engine 5, of course, it's not perfect in that case, but I would say we're not going to see those crazy bugs from Bethesda anymore in Unreal Engine 5. So the success release of this Oblivion Remastered has not only rekindled interest in the classic title, but also sparked the discussions now about potential, of course, for remastering the other Bethesda games. With the advancements showcased in this remaster, now everyone can be hopeful that titles like Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and also Skyrim might receive similar treatment. And I would say this really has changed the landscape, that we can maybe see these games being released very fast in Unreal Engine 5, especially when it is relatively simple to create a script to import ESM files into Unreal Engine 5. But of course then there is still lots of work. So recent reports suggest that a Fallout 3 remaster is indeed in the works. So leaked documents from the FTC's investigation into Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax Media indicated plans for a Fallout 3 remaster, initially stated for 2024. However, while delays have occurred, the project appears to be still progressing. So much to the excitement of everyone, especially that we know we can actually see these kind of remakes, because let's face it, just a month or two ago, these were all their still wild rumors. The screenshots haven't leaked yet from last week, it still were rumors, and I have to say, including myself, was still a bit skeptic that we could actually see this. I mean, Unreal Engine 5 was not really the first choice I would actually think for Bethesda, because then they definitely would not promote their creation engine 2 anymore. So also the possibility when the Fallout 3 remaster would have been created, a Fallout New Vegas remaster also has been topic of speculation. So of course Fallout New Vegas is, I would say, the most popular Fallout, together with Fallout 3 maybe. Then yeah, it's just very, I would say, very plausible that we can see these kind of remakes. And then Skyrim, yeah, the big Skyrim, despite already receiving a special edition and anniversary edition, like 100,000 versions, it also could really benefit from an Unreal Engine 5 remake. I mean, how amazing would that be if we can have the same amount of quality from Oblivion also for Skyrim? I mean, we all maybe have seen these amazing videos from Leo Torres showing what actual scale of cities can look in Unreal Engine 5, and now these things are really closer than ever. So as Bethesda evaluates the success now of Oblivion Remastered, the potential for future remakes is really here, I would say, because Virtuos is doing a great job, the bugs are quite limited so far, and I mean, if they can relatively easy import the ESM assets into Unreal Engine 5, then, you know, if they have like a big team, they can relatively easily recreate the rest. Let's look at the future of Creation Engine 2 in light of Unreal Engine 5's capabilities. So, now that the release of Oblivion Remastered utilized Unreal Engine 5 and it marked a significant milestone now for Bethesda, I would say, and I am wondering, what are they going to think of their Creation Engine 2? I mean, Creation Engine 2 was introduced with Starfield, of course, and it brought very noticeable improvements over its predecessor, including the enhanced graphics, refined animations, and the more dynamic environments. However, the Creation Engine 2 still has weird glitches and bugs. Many unofficial patches are needed usually for a game release like this. And the transition to Unreal Engine 5 for Oblivion Remastered, it showed that all these bugs instantly disappear because you have a brand new engine. Also, Unreal Engine 5 features such as Nanite and Lumen, they are just really advanced new features, and I'm wondering if they are actually able with Bethesda to implement those ever or something similar in Creation Engine 2. So, while Bethesda has a very deep-rooted history with its Creation Engine, and especially developing it for Starfield, yeah, I would say it's of course a very big hit in their face if they're going to switch to Unreal Engine 5. However, we have seen other major companies like EA, they just eventually, and also The Witcher, they switch to Unreal Engine 5 because they think it's just better. And even if they had their own original engines and put all the money into it, sometimes it can be just better to completely switch over to an engine which already proved itself, has amazing new features, and yeah, it is already just there. You don't need to develop it. Only thing you need to do is pay a fee, but that's just pretty much it. You can just jump right into this new Unreal Engine 5. So I would say the future of Creation Engine 2, I'm not really sure if maybe the Elder Scrolls 6 will be the last Creation Engine 2 we're going to see. So in conclusion, exciting times are up ahead. If we're going to actually see a Fallout 3 remaster as well as we see now for Oblivion, I think it's pretty safe to see we're also going to see a Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and even Skyrim remaster in Unreal Engine 5. And I am really looking forward to it, having modern engines with modern techniques to play our beloved Bethesda games. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this, and hope to see you at one of my next videos.